When I was doing a lot of coverage of the Obama administration that they didn't like and were trying to stop, a source approached me, government connected, and told me I was likely being surveilled. I was able to have a computer specialist connected with the government look at my computer and confirm, there's now been 4 forensics exams that have confirmed that there was software proprietary to a federal government agency in my computer.
Joining me now, retired Lieutenant Colonel Allen West. Good to see you, Colonel. Okay, before we get to Cheryl Atkinson, first, to President Trump accusing President Obama of a crime, the fear is that he could undercut his credibility, that he needs to do reforms like Obamacare and dealing with North Korea. The White House says the word wiretapping was meant to be taken figuratively, meaning surveillance, not literally, even though the president did not put it in quotes in some of his tweets. Will the American people go along with that?
Well, it's good to be with you always, Liz. And I think that you're starting to see that semantics word game happening. And you just have to ask yourself, and let's be very honest, why would the Trump administration change the narrative themselves coming out of a very successful address before the joint session of Congress that Tuesday evening, and you put this out on Saturday? So now you have this high standard of proof when you have accused the former president of conducting an action. And we know that this past Monday they were supposed to provide some type of proof. That got pushed off to next Monday, which is the 20th, and we keep hearing about very soon. But what the president really needs to be talking about are things that are concerning to the American people. He just released his budget today. And so I think it would be great if he were to talk about the budget and his vision for how he is going to reshape and reform the federal government, as well as you just talked about, the health care law, which is very important for the American people. And, you know, give us a vision as far as tax reform and maybe help us to understand your national security strategy with all the threats that are going on right now in the world.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton has been criticized for not winning because she didn't have any issues or policies, and it's the Democrat playbook to try to redo the election that they lost. And the accusation has been that Russia is colluding with Trump. There's no proof of that. We've got former CIA officials saying there's no proof of that. But journalist Cheryl Atkinson said a president can order surveillance without a FISA warrant. Let's listen.
I can tell you, based on my sources, there are all kinds of ways that bad actors or honest actors, either way, could wrap up somebody in surveillance that was not a target or whose name does not appear anywhere on a wiretap warrant or a FISA warrant. I'm told by a source that at least for part of the time I've been surveilled, my name was not on a FISA warrant. Here's a really strange, weird thing that a source firsthand has told me. Presidents can issue directives that make legal or allow people to do things that are otherwise illegal, almost anything. And that means, and we would never know about it because the directive, I'm told, comes with a cover story, indemnity for those involved, and the permission for them to lie about it if they're ever caught.
Colonel, that's exactly what Judge Napolitano says, that the Obama administration could be doing surveillance of Donald Trump without FISA warrants. Go ahead.
Well, we know that former Congressman Dennis Kucinich, a former colleague of mine, has brought up the point that the Obama administration did such acts against him when he was talking with leadership over in Libya about staying away from U.S. involvement and intervention there. We know that these things have happened previously, with, certain issues with the IRS or what have you. But the key thing is that when you make such an assertion as President Trump did, the thing is that people are going to be expecting the evidence, the proof, or else it does damage your credibility. Cheryl Atkinson has been talking about this issue for quite some time, and she can show the proof thereof. But as you know, we have the speculation from the Democrats about this Russian involvement in our election. James Clapper, General Clapper, has said that there's no proof of that. Mike Morrell, the former head of the CIA, says there's no proof of that. So everyone needs to move away from these speculative assertions, and let's start getting back to the issues for which President Trump was elected.
How do you think this ends up? How do you think it turns out, Colonel?
Well, I think as part of the media cycle, and there'll be a back and forth, kind of like two battleships going broadside in the middle of the night in the ocean. And we'll see whose battleship gets damaged the most. But the most important thing for the President of the United States is to create the narrative. He should be the one with the largest bully pulpit directing that narrative and not allowing the media to be like little chihuahuas and biting at his ankles. But unfortunately, he created that atmosphere.
Colonel Allen West, always good to see you. Please come back soon. We love having you on.
You got it. I appreciate you, Liz.
MSNBC, same thing. Same here.